And for me, I think that it's like a huge slap in the face. Hey, it's Shadei and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll be talking about unpaid internships and just internships in general. If you're in college or going to college, at some point, you're going to have to do an internship, whether it's required for you to graduate or maybe you just want to do one for experience. So I just thought this would be helpful for those kind of students, and since I'm graduating and I just got finished doing my internship, I thought this was pretty relevant. And so yeah, so that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. If you're new to this channel, please make sure you click that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and comment below if you've ever done an unpaid internship before and if you thought it was a good experience or a bad experience. So I am a college student right now. I go to Rutgers University in New Jersey. I'm majoring in journalism and media studies. I'm graduating and I'm so excited about that. And I just finished doing an internship, and yeah, so which I will get into in a little bit further in this video. So first off, before I get into like the things that annoy me about unpaid internships, I'm going to talk about the ideal type of internships. So of course the ideal type of internship is a paid internship. I mean, that's what we all want. You can get a paid internship if it's required for school or if it's just for the summer. But paid internships, you know, they're paid for by the hour. Usually you can get credit for school and paid at the same time, and those are the ideal internships because you're getting paid for your time. And those internships usually, I mean, they can be part-time or full-time. Part-time, they may be up to 20 hours. Full-time is usually like 40 hours a week. And usually the full-time stuff is usually like in the summer, or if you're a recent graduate and you're doing like some type of paid internship type program, which will be like full-time, usually for like 6 months or for a year or something like that. Paid internships are great, but they are very, very competitive. I remember when I was applying for internships, I must have been applying for internships for like almost like a year straight, and I don't know how many internships I applied for, but it was a lot. It was a lot, guys. I felt like it was like a job just for me applying for internships because I was applying for so many different ones, and I had to do so many different cover letters. So it was a process for me, and it was very stressful and annoying. And long story short, I did not get any of the paid internships that I applied to. So yes, they are very competitive, and a lot of times with the paid internships, like those companies, they may be set up to have some type of internship program. So not just you being there as an intern, but they have a program set up in their company for these interns that come in every semester. So they also try to include things that may help to like nurture your career, like workshops or mentors or like conversations with people that work there, just so you can kind of get more out of the internship as a whole. And I think that those type of internships are amazing. It's great to do an internship, but I mean, if you can also do things where you are talking to people that are currently working in the industry that you want to work in, I think that is something that is so valuable. So of course, those internships are definitely like the most sought after. A lot of times people say that you have to like know people to get into those things, especially like when it comes to media. Okay, so for internships in general, the whole point is that you're trying to get work experience, right? And that's what you want. If you are in college, you're getting close to graduating college, work experience in your field is very important, because I think it's a very disservice for yourself if you just graduate out of college and you have no relatable work experience to the industry that you were trying to work in. Even if it's just only internships, it will help you a lot when applying for jobs rather than just having a resume, and it may also only have like summer jobs at a camp or like working at the mall or something like that. Some people, I mean, have those experiences, but in this day and age, internships or some type of relatable work experience, even if it's something that you create yourself, is very important. I just wanted to throw that out there. So there's so many companies, unfortunately, today that still offer unpaid internships, and for me, I think that it's like a huge slap in the face. And when I mean unpaid internships, I mean internships that are giving you absolutely nothing monetarily wise. Internships that are asking you to be there for like 20 to 30 hours a week, even sometimes 40 hours a week, and you are not getting paid at all. Now with some of these unpaid internships, they do offer credit, and if they're not offering credit at the least and you're doing unpaid internship, that is not an internship, in my opinion, that you need to be doing unless you are someone that is just privileged enough that you can do an unpaid internship and you don't need the credit and you're just there for to try to get the experience just because you can afford to do that. But everyone's situation is not like that. For you to be able to do a solely unpaid internship, which means that you can afford to spend your time at an organization, give your time, give your work, give your service to a place for 25, 30 hours a week. That means that those are hours that you could be spending working. Now for people and for students that work, you need to work, whether it's to pay your tuition or pay your expenses or to pay whatever or to help your family out. You need to work, and that means that you are taking time that you could be making money to do this internship, and that means that you are not getting the experience that you need. It's experience that you need but that you can't do because you just cannot afford to just not work, and then you can't afford to work for free, basically, which it comes down to. And that is my problem with unpaid internships, is just that I feel that they should offer something in this day and age. I feel like it should be required for most companies, especially bigger companies, that they have to offer something. Just credit, I mean, is great. I mean, but if it's an internship, I feel that is requiring you to be there for over a certain amount of hours. I just think, in my opinion, that they should pay. But then again, that's just my opinion. Maybe, you know, there are some people that are fine with that and maybe it's been beneficial to you. Now, I'm not saying that you can do an unpaid internship and that it still won't be beneficial, because I think that it definitely can be. You can be doing an unpaid internship and you can have an amazing experience because you're learning new skills, and maybe you're making connections, and that is very valuable in itself. And you know, now you have another thing that you could put in your resume, which is great. So, you know, with unpaid internships, you really have to think about what you're getting out of it and what you're putting into it. Experience is always, well, I don't want to say it's always good, but we would hope that you would have a good internship experience. So if you do have a good internship experience and it's unpaid, then yeah, of course, then it's going to be worth it. But there are so many people, I've talked to so many people. Me personally, I was not applying for any unpaid internships because I wasn't working, because I was in school, and I was in school a lot, almost every day, not getting home till 5 o'clock. And if I had to be at a place for 25 to 30 hours a week, which was a huge chunk of my time, then I would want to be paid, you know? So that's why I was, for the most part, maybe 95% of the time applying for paid internships, unless they were things that were really close to my school or to home, where I wasn't paying additional money to get to this internship. Which also brings up another point. If you're doing an unpaid internship, it costs you money to get to this place. If you were living in an urban or a city environment, then you have to pay for the train, for the subway, for the bus to get there, to get back, for how many ever days a week that you're going there. If you're someone who drives, then you're paying for additional gas money, and that's money that's coming out of your pocket if they're not paying you at all. So some people can't afford to do that, and if you can afford to do that, then maybe that won't be an issue for you. But some people can't afford to do that, and because they can't afford to do that, then that automatically just rules them out of internship opportunities. And that's just where I think the unfairness comes out for things like that. There are also unpaid internships that provide stipends. Now, this is a better option if you are doing the unpaid internship route, just because you are getting something. They are giving you some type of monetary support, which is great. And sometimes it may just come in the form of them paying for your transportation, whether it's paying for it up front or giving you a monthly transportation card, or whether they're reimbursing you for transportation. And now, if you can get a situation like that where it's not costing you anything to go there and you just have free time anyway besides school, and you could do an unpaid internship, then I think that that could be a great option for you. Then there are also the unpaid internships with stipends that aren't only transportation stipends, but stipends in addition to transportation, which is actually the type of internship that I just finished. It was unpaid, meaning that I didn't get paid by the hour to be there. I did get a lump sum stipend and reimbursed for transportation. Now I did have to like pay for like my transportation like there and back like up front, but then I was able to get reimbursed for it, then an additional like amount of money in addition to that. Now it wasn't like a whole bunch of money, but at this point in time right now, like especially with graduation come up, it is very helpful because I am not working, as I said before. So getting that money back for transportation and getting that lump sum stipend is very helpful right now. So if you do have to do an unpaid internship, those are the type that I suggest that you do. A lot of unpaid internships, they don't offer a stipend and reimbursement. I've just been blessed enough to find an internship that had the things that I prayed for, because I did pray that if I do have to do an unpaid internship, that maybe that they have a stipend or at least reimburse me for transportation, because that's something that I needed, and I knew that I couldn't afford like to just keep going to a place where I had to go all the time and just put up all this money. Like I just personally just couldn't afford to do that. So I prayed for that, and thank God that, you know, that came through. So I had to travel to New York for my internship, and luckily I only had to go in 1 day a week. But that 1 day a week, and I live in New Jersey, it adds up, and it's not cheap. It's about like almost like $15 a day, and for someone who is not working, an extra $15 a day just to go to an internship that you're not getting paid for is a lot. Now luckily I'm getting that money back, but you know, everybody is not that lucky. So unpaid internships that have stipends and have transportation reimbursement are the way to go if that's all that you can find. Luckily that opportunity just like came through at the time that I needed it, because I needed an internship to graduate. This is my last semester, and it was like coming down to the wire, and like nothing was coming through, and I knew that had to be God. So you know, I was like, let me just take this, and I will figure it out as I go. And luckily it's been such a blessing, and just so thankful for that. And I'm actually going to be working there now, which is also really exciting, also, which maybe I will do a different video about, I don't know. So overall, internships are important. They can be great experience for you. They can be great foundation for you when you're trying to apply for jobs out of college. Unpaid internships, I just do not like, and I think if you do not have to take an unpaid internship, do not take one. And I'm just waiting for the day when they make unpaid internships like illegal after a certain amount of hours, because I just think it's ridiculous to ask someone to work for you for more than 20 hours, more than 15 hours a week, especially if they have to travel far to get there, and that you don't pay them anything, not even any reimbursement, stipend, or anything. I think that's just wrong, in my opinion. Even though I'm not in college anymore and I don't have to worry about internships hopefully anymore, I think it's very unfair, and I think that students deserve to be compensated for their time in some sort of way other than just credit. That's just my opinion. You guys may differ from that, but that's just how I feel, you know. So, and I know that there are so many students out there that feel the same way, and a lot of students that are applying for like internships right now because it's summer and school's ending. So if you're watching this and you're considering like what type of internship to do, I hope this video was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments below what has been your experience with internships, especially when it comes to unpaid internships, because I would really like to know. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.